Hey guys, welcome to The Outer Groove. I'm your host, Andre Salazar. I am excited today because we are starting this channel hitting it hard with my favorite stuff. And I got to talk about The Doors. And I can't just do one album, although we will individually talk about each album. I just want to talk about them in total, their whole freaking catalog, in entirety, their albums. I became a big fan of Doors, believe it or not, because of the Oliver Stone film that came out. I was a young man. I saw that movie, and I was enamored with Oliver Stone's filmmaking. I loved the music. I went out. I rushed out. I bought the greatest hits, a cassette tape, and I just became a huge Doors fan. So I've been a Doors fan forever. Top 5, maybe top 3 bands of all time. I love Radiohead. I love the Doors. I love the Beatles. I mean, the Doors, dude. It's like I read the book by John Dinsmore, Ray Manzarek, Bobby Krieger, and of course Jim Morrison. That quartet are the Doors. They all come from very different backgrounds. John Dinsmore is jazz drummer. Bobby Krieger never played the electric guitar until he joined the band. Ray Manzarek had different backgrounds and kind of more classical stuff. They all came, and then there was the poet, right, who wasn't really a singer. He was into film. He went to USC film school. So they come together, and their first album in 1967, The Doors. This is the album that everyone loved. This is like the hits. This has got Break On Through, Light My Fire, The End. This has got all the big stuff that everyone loves. And their first album is wonderful. But I think what's interesting about The Doors is it's not just one sound. I listened to their entire catalog today, and it's not just one thing. They are this. They are a blues rock band, or they are psychedelic, or they really do experiment. And each album does kind of play with different themes and ideas. Their band was very short. Jim died very early. They spanned 67 to 71. So we're talking 4 or 5 years for their entire existence, basically, the 4 of them at least. And in that time, they came out with, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 albums. I think LA Woman might have came out actually after he died. 5, 6 albums. And each one's different. And at that time, you have so much going on in the world of music. You have Crosby, Stills and Nash. You've got even Pink Floyd is starting in the beginning of that. You have Led Zeppelin. You have Velvet Underground. You have, did I say Crosby, Stills and Nash? I mean, you've got like Woodstock happens in the middle of this. So many, Jimi Hendrix, King Crimson, and so the beginning of like prog rock, like that late 60s, 68, 69 is like a time of musical just explosion of so many different themes and styles and experimentation. And the Doors do some of that experimenting. Now their first album is dark, it's creepy, and in fact I would say all of their best stuff is got that dark kind of creepiness to it that I love. The songs like The End, Break On Through, Unknown Soldier, 5 to 1, that one off Soft Parade, which is, not Soft Parade, Waiting for the Sun, Not to Touch the Earth. All these songs that are kind of minor chorded, that have this kind of poetic, creepy darkness to it. Those are, to me, my favorites. They're the long songs. They kind of like experiment. They kind of almost a jazz kind of like length to it. I like those. Those are my favorite songs. And the first song really is almost like the beginning of goth. It has got that darkness to it, which is kind of fun. And I think a lot of like dark goth bands that come out like decades later go to the Doors and look for some of that kind of creepiness to it, which is just really kind of fun to kind of think about. So after that came out, Strange Days, I felt was a great album. Strange Days has got that psychedelia. It's got that Velvet Underground feeling. It's got that early Pink Floyd. That came out, in 67. And I think Strange Days is a great album. That one is really fun. It's got a lot of neat little sounds to it. They're really experimenting with things. This is drug culture too. This is when the Doors of Perception, right? This is about using drugs to expand your mind, expand your vision of the world. And definitely Strange Days is an album that really plays with that. Waiting for the Sun, I think, is one of their best albums as well. I really like Waiting for the Sun. It starts off with like Hello, I Love You, Love Street, but then it goes into, like I said, this dark stuff like Not to Touch the Earth, and then it has Unknown Soldier, it has 5 to 1. Those are all really great songs. Then it has kind of like Spanish Caravan. So it really does kind of play with a lot of stuff. I like this one a lot. I think Waiting for the Sun is one of their best albums. I think the first one, Strange Days, Waiting for the Sun, those three are really, really brilliant. The fourth album, Soft Parade, which was actually the first CD I bought, was Soft Parade. And I'm like, oh, I love the Doors, let's get that. And I was like, what the... It's so different. Again, they're playing with different things. They're using bands, trumpets, orchestral stuff. They're playing with kind of a bluesy grass song too. This one's a little bit of hit and miss. A lot of people don't like it. I would say it's probably one of my least favorites, but I acknowledge and appreciate the experimentation. And I like the song Soft Parade, especially the beginning of that kind of like things that are happening in that one. The last two, Morrison Hotel and LA Woman, are kind of similar. I think LA Woman's probably stronger than Morrison Hotel. Morrison Hotel, though, it starts off with Roadhouse Blues, which is a great song, and I really like Waiting for the Sun. Those are both great songs. Then it has a couple others that are fine. This is really going into the blues world, and then LA Woman continues that and even double downs on that with LA Woman, which is a great song. So I think both of those last two are good. I would say if I were going to talk about my favorite album actually might just be this one, which is their live album they did. This is a double LP, this is a 2 LP set. It's got Who Do You Love, Backdoor Man, 5 to 1, When the Music's Over, Break On Through, Celebration of the Lizard, Soul Kitchen. It doesn't have The End, which you kind of need The End, because The End is a wonderful song. My favorite albums would be this live one, Spanish Caravan, LA Woman, The Doors, the original, maybe Strange... Man, it's like all of them. It's just, if you have not listened to The Doors and really spent some time, I strongly encourage you to get on Tidal or Spotify or something, stream some albums. Don't just do the greatest hits. We've all heard their top 8 songs. Go and listen to the full albums, album at a time, and really spend some time with them. I think you will not be disappointed. And I would buy all these. In fact, I need to finish the set on vinyl, on CD, digitally. You got to have these. The Doors to me it's one of my favorite bands. It is seminal. It is one of those spokes. It is one of those hubs where all these different bands come out of it. So many bands and current music has been inspired by the Doors. They're up there with Led Zeppelin, the Beatles, as far as like inspirational stuff. And while they don't have a huge catalog of only 6 albums because of the untimely death of Jim Morrison, they do have some great songs and albums and some really creative things that are happening. I will also add as a caveat, Jim Morrison did some spoken word kind of poetry album. I think he did 1, maybe 2, and it's very good if you like that kind of stuff. Now, some people think it's kind of contrite and everything. I like it. but I'm a nerd for that. So check that out as well. The Jim Morrison, like spoken word poetry. There's some music in the background too, so it's not just him talking. Some of that's used by Oliver Stone in the film. That's another thing. Go watch the Oliver Stone film. It's actually pretty good. John Dinsmore book is very good. And there's a couple documentaries. There's one documentary right now, I think on Amazon Prime, which is very good, that shows all kinds of footage that I've never seen before. Like, I don't know where they got this footage, but someone was walking around with a 8mm or a Super 8 or a 16 or something and filmed them. So that is a really, really fun documentary. Go check that out as well. Catalogs their kind of life and all the troubles they went through. Huge fan. There you go. That's my little mini wrap up of the Doors. So go check out the Doors if you don't know them. If you do, let me know what you think. What's your favorite? Comment, what's your favorite song? What's your favorite album? Who have been inspired by the Doors? When you listen to them now, what do you say? Oh, they got that from Jim or Bobby or whoever. So I'd be curious to hear what you guys think. Thanks a lot. Hit that subscribe and like button. Hit the bell icon if you know what's up. And check out my other videos here on Outer Groove. Peace, brother.